Hey everyone, and Happy New Year. Here is going to be my next build to start the new year. It's going to be the AMT Darth Vader. I think they made this back in the mid-90s. My Star Destroyer is on hold. The gentleman that makes the engine inserts in the hangar bay is in the process of making some more aftermarket parts. So until he's ready to sell those, I'm putting it on hold and moving on to another project. This thing's a big kit. I'm not sure how tall it's going to be after I get it all together, but I got all the parts out and I washed them out. I washed them all the other day, and that's as far as I got. I decided to go ahead and do an intro video here, and then I'll get started on what I'm going to do with it. Give you an example of how big this is. He's actually got, I guess you'd say, two capes. He's got the one that goes on the back of his shoulder, and this thing is pretty tall. I don't have a tape measure down here. And then he's got the one that goes around his waist. But these things, even when you cut the vinyl off, it's not very much you got to cut off. I mean, it is still a big, huge piece of vinyl. And then here's his legs. Let's see if we zoom in a little bit. Okay. Here's his legs. Here's one of his boots. And the other one here is just exactly a match. Pretty good detail, actually. Arm and a hand. And another arm and another hand. The chest and the torso. It's got some pretty good detail. I do plan on lighting this up, pieces of this and pieces of that, as soon as I figure out what colors and what lights up, what blinks, what don't blink. So I'm going to do my research on that. I'm going to try to do him as he was seen in Return of the Jedi, because I have a Luke Skywalker vinyl kit that I like to do a diorama with these two. And I do know, I've already looked at the Luke one, and he's wearing the boots that he wore in A New Hope. So to make those boots work, it's going to take a lot of putty. But there's a Han Solo kit out there, and he's just got regular leather boots. So I'm thinking about buying that and then using those boots for Luke. Here is his head. There's pretty good detail on the top. And he even got the detail in the back of the scars that he showed in Empire Strikes Back. So, here's the helmet. I'm going to leave it in the plastic because I think this is I think it's a styrene. I don't think this is vinyl because it's really, really stiff. I mean, a lot stiffer than a vinyl, so I'm assuming that this is styrene. And his lightsaber, which I'm going to leave in the bag also for now. It is molded in clear. I've got a couple ideas. I do want to light it. I have a couple ideas. One idea is to just drill into the handle and get an SMD and get it focused in there where it's pointing up. Light it that way. Another idea that I have, which I'll have to get the fiber optics ordered, but they make now a side glow fiber optic, and they make one in a 5mm that you can order from the fiber optic store. So I'm thinking if that's going to be thick enough, I'm thinking about cutting the saber off at the base, using the 5mm, and then just shave it accordingly to make it look like a lightsaber. So, and then put a light down here. And then when it lights, it's going to light the whole thing. So, I don't know which way I'm gonna go yet. I'll decide it later on as I get closer to start working on this. Here are the instructions. There's not a whole lot to them. 3 steps and you're done. And there's the Luke Skywalker one, and there's the Han Solo one. And the paint guide, I noticed this on the Luke kit and the Encounter at Dagobah kit that I also got. They're all the same because they're all made by AMT. But they give a lot of these colors you're not going to even use on him. And I found the exact same thing with the Encounter on Dagobah and Luke. This must be just a standard paint chart that they came out with back in the 90s that they use on all their different models that they made. So, like I said, we're going to try to do him as he was seen in Return of the Jedi. I know there's some pieces up here on the shoulders. They're not exactly black, they're like a gunmetal. But I do want to make a diorama out of this one and have him in a diorama with Luke. And so that's going to be my next project. Next step for me is to get the vinyl cut down, and I'll get a coat of adhesion promoter put on it, and then I'll get a coat of primer put on it. I got a new paint booth for Christmas, so that was great. I got it finally set up. I haven't used it yet, but I finally got it to where I've hooked the exhaust hose into something I already had from before, because I don't have a window anywhere near me. So I've got it in this 5-gallon bucket with bits and pieces of filter stuff down in there, and I sealed the top with the Great Stuff foam. That way when I've turned it on and no air is escaping, so I should be able to do primer in the house, the Duplicolor primer. But we'll find out within the next day or two. So this looks like it's gone on for about 8 minutes now. I think I've pretty much said everything I wanted to tell you guys. I think I'm going to try to revamp my videos to do something a little bit better. And until next time, guys, keep building, and we'll see you.